The system.
It's a new
Show.
Yes, it is.
You've heard all the other wrestling programs. Now it's time to listen to the guys who aren't booty.
And you can't beat that.
It's hashtag WrestlePals.
There ain't no stopping us now. We celebrate on the floor. Drop down, we're ready to go. To all the people across every nation, turn it up and give me some more.
Whoa. I don't know. Whoa. You know,
It?
I haven't seen that yet. Is it good?
Mm-hmm.
Let me know when we start, okay?
What do you mean?
When we start the show.
How long have we been doing this show?
Tonight, none. Zero.
None.
Nada. Nil.
The show's at least 2 years old.
Zero.
At least. Mierda?
Hey, everybody's hashtag WrestlePals. That's enough of that bit. Hi. Hold on.
Oh,
Hello.
hi, Jenny.
Who? Oh, okay. Hey. She's gonna get so mad.
For saying who?
Hey, everybody's hashtag WrestlePals. Your hashtag Wrestle Show for hashtag wrestling, I guess.
Oh.
Hashtag-
You guys have no idea.
I'm not really sure I do either.
Hashtag Wrestle Show.
Look over there. It's hashtag WrestlePal Justin. When did you sneak the? Go ahead. That sounds really good. It's like the perfect amount of echo just for. Hashtag WrestlePal Justin.
I'm cheersing them.
A hashtag man of science. I'm sorry. Man of science.
A real man of science.
Oh, and I'm hashtag WrestlePal Nate. Hi.
That's you.
It's me. It's okay. Still adjusting. Not quite used to being called that. It's on my driver's license.
You love
now.
it.
Yeah.
That's what your license plate says.
Well, here's the thing. I don't like it, but I really enjoy being uncomfortable. So it kind of works out. Bailey's still in this week.
Yeah,
Very,
she likes us.
Very happy that she hasn't conked out on us like she has.
So many times before.
Mhm.
Literally every week.
She's going to stay there all show.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
You know, I'm not gonna.
Never going to time
I'm
that
not
out
gonna-
right ever.
I'm not gonna fade her.
Hmm.
All right.
You know what it was? We got overconfident.
Got
And
way overconfident.
She
Bailey,
wa-
I'm
she-
sorry.
She wants to be chased. You know, that's what it is. She
Well, I
doesn't.
gave up the chase
Yeah.
because I can't chase Bailey anymore, Nathan. As you well know,
Oh.
she is my ex now.
Oh, you say that, right?
Yeah, yeah. And
You did
I-
because you said it.
I have a new hashtag commitment, which is about a year old now.
New
My
brand,
Hashtag commitment.
brand, comma new.
Come on, you guys know this.
Come on.
Come on, fucking guys.
You guys know this. Hashtag commitment. Nathan, I'm not sure if you know this about me.
What is that about you, Justin?
I love Liv Morgan.
I've heard as
Mhm.
much.
Yeah. Liv
I
loves Justin.
Mm,
That's a hashtag.
it
The
is.
kids are using it.
Which kids? Like
All-
your children?
Well,
You're
no.
forcing them onto Twitter to
They're not on
promote
the
your own
Twitter machine.
hashtags? Good. That's a bad place to be sometimes. I only go there when I'm having meltdowns. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, anytime you see just like, wow, look at him go. And enjoy the spiral. No need to play.
I randomly get a couple likes and RTs from you.
Yes. That's
Like,
about
oh,
it.
Yeah.
Unless you ask for them. It's people that ask for that. Jerks.
Bunch of jerks.
Mm-hmm.
I would never do that.
Justin?
Huh?
So, which one is this? Is this the Wrestle Show? We talk about wrestling?
This is not hashtag Wrestle Show.
Oh, okay.
That happens in Los Santos.
Of course it does. It
Nathan,
ha-
come on, man.
Yes.
Let's get on task.
Yes.
I love Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
We haven't established this yet.
Does she know?
I don't know, man.
Have you told the people in the back?
Yes, I
Don't
told all the
you
people.
They're nice.
Uh-huh.
Not so much there, but they're nice.
Yeah.
So,
I
you
should
need to
yell
yell.
at them?
No, don't yell at them. Not y'all. Y'all are fine.
I
mean,
should yell at them.
Beyond y'all, somewhere behind you, there's a nice family who just want to probably sleep
Probably sleep at this point.
and
of the
never
evening.
hear about you and your
I
horrible,
love Liv Morgan.
unhealthy crush.
You know, enough of that. Those words are awful and do not explain this situation at all.
Which ones? Your and crush? Are those the bad ones?
No. That's the accurate part.
That's very accurate.
Horrible.
Also
is,
accurate. Unhealthy.
Horrible and unhealthy have nowhere near this conversation. How dare you, sir? I'm offended.
You're being asked, where is Liv Morgan?
She's
Where?
in
What? Oh,
London.
wait, no, hold on. Very different question. What's a Liv Morgan?
What the live of my life?
Okay.
She's the very reason for me to live.
Oh, we got all out of focus.
Oh, we're out of focus.
We got all of. No, it's back now. We got all
What
of.
the H? What the H? What the H?
Justin,
Uh huh.
wrestles happened this week.
Yeah, man. Wrestling's happened this weekend too.
Yeah.
Man, wrestling is really like awesome right now.
So this weekend, the big event is going to be, and it's been building for a little bit. All in.
They've been building it for about a year.
Yeah.
We talked about this before, but they were so super smart because by the time the tickets went on sale, they'd already been promoting for like 7 months.
Uh huh.
They'd already been not even building like a card, just building the talent.
Building the hype
Building
for
the
it. Who's
name.
going to be on the card? Who you going to be able to see there? And it didn't even matter the card for the most part. I almost feel like the way they were building it was, hey, we're going to build up interest, we're going to build up excitement, we're going to lead right into ticket sales, and then once ticket sales hit, we're going to start unleashing the big guns, the big matchups that you're going to see, so we can. Hi, I don't like that guy.
Don't do that.
Sorry,
I just want to reply.
but they and then we're going to drop
Ready for it to happen again.
Mm-hmm. After the tickets went on sale, they were gonna. I don't like that guy either. I am. You got it.
want to respond.
Good Christ.
Oh, and I can't even respond with a GIF. Screw this.
Mm.
I'm out.
Justin
I
Wilson is
quit.
watching. Oh no, he's not. So they were gonna have the tickets go on sale and start announcing the big matches in order to keep the hype going up to and eventually, hopefully, sell out
Mm-hmm.
a 10,000 plus seat arena.
Bunch of sellouts.
Good. That's good. Dude, would you sell out like right now if somebody was like, hey, here's a significant amount of money and notoriety and also full, complete, and total control?
That's the important part.
Yeah.
I would do it if I got to keep control. Absolutely.
Mhm.
If I still get to be Justin, which, whatever the hell that means, but I don't want to be some suit.
Suits
Can
have
you imagine
pants,
me in a suit?
and you're not wearing
I'm not
pants
wearing
ever.
pants. That ain't happening.
They
I'll
don't
wear
make
golf
shorts.
shorts.
No, you won't.
I'm wearing golf shorts now.
Oh, yeah, you will. Look at that. How about that?
I like them.
How
They're comfy.
about that?
They're very
I'm
comfy.
gonna stop looking at your pants.
They're not pants. How dare you?
I'm sorry.
offended.
Your golf panty shorts.
Okay.
There you go. Is that better?
No.
So
Do we want to go over this car? I mean, I don't know how much we want to talk about this because, again, it's happening
it was
this
more.
weekend.
It was more the event of it
Mm-hmm.
than. I mean, there's a couple big things here. Again, they maintained complete and total creative control over it, but at the same time, they've got the backing of New Japan
Mm-hmm.
and the backing of ROH.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them are, and you got the participation of the NWA.
Uh-huh.
All of them coming together, saying, "Hey, let's do this super show all together. Hey, we can cross storylines and talent pools and come out with a good event that builds all of the brands."
And wrestling in general, period.
Yeah.
The best part is that in the past, Vince would have tried to kill this.
You think so?
Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt.
'Cause I think we mentioned it last week. There was
On
Cody
Jericho's
Cody
pod?
talking with Jericho about the whole like
Mhm.
Vince said something along the lines.
Well,
of,
actually-
I wish he'd come and talk to me.
Yeah, so this is because I was just listening to that today.
Mm-hmm.
Jericho told Vince about All In.
Right.
And he goes, "Why didn't they ask me?" That was Vince's response. Why didn't they ask me? Why didn't they ask me about it?
Mm-hmm.
And they said, so some of the big names were saying that's like the worst weekend you can possibly try to do.
No way you'll sell out.
No way you'll
Goodness
sell
gracious.
out. And then the guy they were working with at the United Center said, do not go on sale on a Sunday.
Mhm.
Make sure you do a pre-sale,
Mhm.
none of which they did.
Yeah, they didn't listen to traditional wisdom,
Mhm.
and seems to be working out all right. And
Because wrestling's in a good spot. In the front of that is being the elite.
yeah,
I mean, there's no denying it. And I mean, because of things like the Bucks and Kenny,
mm-hmm.
Jericho can work the way he's working. I mean, technically speaking, he's Chris freaking Jericho. He should be able to work the way he works.
Right.
That's just the way it should be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if another, and you've noticed that WWE is loosening the grips a little.
Oh, yeah,
Like-
they're more apt to let people be who they are, maintain their characters, and as a result, you end up with performers that are more invested in their creation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's hard to build something because we saw the whole debacle with Matt Hardy and the whole broken
The
universe
broken
thing, and think how much time was kind of, I don't want to say wasted, but it was shelved or altered in some way before allowing to be. And even then, it still wasn't really allowed to be because they tried to find another way to make it naturally happen, and that just doesn't. It seems like the best way is letting people have that creative control and do them better than somebody else could do them. And it always ends up amazing. And with that loosening of the WWE, we're seeing a little more loosening and even further loosening from those other things. Because we've seen like New Japan partner with like Impact before, right?
Mhm.
And it was okay. You brought people in that, well, it's more of Impact not really knowing at that time what to do with that talent.
Right.
But it was the idea of, hey, we can work together to cross promote, and it can be a good thing, and our people can get a learning experience by going to your company, and your people can do the same by doing that. But as the WWE has loosened a little bit, further old bonds have been loosened elsewhere.
Mhm.
The idea of not just cross promoting a show, but giving some of your best talent to that show, and knowing that it's going to be huge, and promote your product. Allowing your top, not just your top tier people, but your top tier titles and your top tier storylines to go and function at what is technically an indie event, and know that it's going to bring, because I got to tell you, that's going to get me more interested in ROH. I'm looking at the card and some of the people on there. It's like, oh, I haven't seen or really talked about them in a long time. I'm excited to see what they're up to.
We were just talking about the card just before we went on, and
I still got it pulled up if you want
you
to
saw
jump around.
that the Briscoes were on it.
And you know, the last we really heard or dug into the Briscoes, 'cause we don't really delve into ROH a whole lot, was the whole thing of they'll never come to WWE because they're not polished enough, and they got some controversy and some statements have been said, and we can't associate with that, and they'll never conform to a WWE style. But we get into an era where I don't know that you necessarily have to conform as much.
I think it's more about
That being
presentation when you get there.
That being said, if you say some nuclear stuff, you're gonna have there's a half-life. You're gonna have to wait out a little while or make amends to try to clean up. But and again, this is just wonderfully promoting ROH. Briscoes versus SoCal Uncensored with Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky.
Beautiful.
It's gonna be it's gonna be a hell of a match because again, and it doesn't necessarily. Okay, first of all, watching a lot of the promo stuff that's been building into All In, and watching SCU basically announce, and first they have the shirts too. This is the worst town I have ever been in. Is the greatest thing I've ever heard. This, and they come in and they mean it every time they say it too. This is the worst town I have ever been in, and it's absolutely amazing. And it's like, I want to see more of that. I want to see more of what they're doing right now. But then you also have, as part of that, Christopher Daniels, a singles match against Stephen Amell, for Christ's sake.
It's gonna be wonderful.
It's gonna be good because he was
gonna be wonderful.
Because he was friggin'. He's a goddamn TV star.
But
And he's had that good, and this gets into the hey, working relationships can be important. He's had that working relationship with Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
That's what brought Stephen Amell into the WWE for a damn WrestleMania match,
It
right?
was SummerSlam, but yes.
Or SummerSlam match. And he did well, and it was fun, and it was promotion across branding. It was outside of WWE. They let somebody else in, and it was fun.
Yep.
And Stephen Amell is the one to say, hey, I appreciate that wanting to work, wanting to do more, wanting to go outside of the norm and promote and play.
Yeah.
And I'll be damned if Cody Rhodes and him don't hook up one day and be like, hey, want to come do this? Want to have you like your first singles match against one of the best the industry has ever had in Christopher Daniels?
So amazing.
Good Lord. And even in the last episode of Being the Elite, it's like, hey, here's some weird promo time where you all get to play back and forth with one another. Fantastic. Two a-holes going at it.
You failed the city. That's just fun.
Good Lord.
Yep.
And also ROH is putting their World Heavyweight title on the line at All In. The winner of the over budget Battle Royal. Naming wise, fantastic. The winner of which goes on to face Jay Lethal. And
I guess that's all flown over with him. Yeah.
I guess. You know, they didn't much more come of it. And just kind of like some accusations and then kind of faded. But then also New Japan, very well represented in there as well. With first of all, this is the one I'm actually weirdly most excited for.
Right.
You've got Okada performing on the show against Marty Scurll. And the weird buildup with that of Okada almost giving him like a cold shoulder, like, hey, what's up, junior heavyweight? Oh, I'm sorry. Is it cruiserweight? I don't know. I'm a heavyweight. Bye. He says it with, well, he doesn't really say much. He just kind of just goes, 205 at Marty Scurll, who's like, it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
The Rainmaker versus this dude with an umbrella. Could be fun. And then you have a full representation of the elite, if you will. You've got a six-man with Young Bucks and Ibushi. Ibushi's going to be on this goddamn card. Friggin', did you just... There's your picture of me attacking with a screwdriver. There you go.
You tried to screw me.
The Young Bucks and Kota Ibushi versus Rey Mysterio, for Christ's sake. Phoenix and
They
Bandito.
booked Rey Mysterio. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
And he's happy to be there.
Oh yeah, he is. Of course he is.
Hey, one of the biggest shows of not necessarily all time, but all importance.
Mm-hmm.
And also you've got Kenny Omega versus freaking Pentagon.
That's the one I'm most excited for. I think.
What?
Yeah. Cierro Mierda. I haven't caught much of Pentagon, but I saw the Lucha finale from last year, and he was in it, and I was like, oh my god, I've been sleeping on this dude.
Yeah.
Like he is really good, and him and I mean the argument you can talk circles around whether or not Omega is the best wrestler in the world today.
Well, that being said, he is.
I mean, you know, you can't you if you don't agree, you can't close him out of the argument.
Uh-huh.
You're lying to yourself if you don't think he's even involved.
Yeah. He's something you're going to have to compare to at the very least.
So, and a dude who is really good, and I don't want to say necessarily looking for that next big step, but this is going to be a big match for him. I feel
Absolutely.
and then the two of them just going at it. I'm just really.
And this is crazy. Pentagon was just one of the headliners at the freaking Triple Mania this past weekend. For goodness sake, putting his mask on the line everywhere he goes. Good Lord. Oh, good. Get out of there. I'm getting messages. Oh, good. We have some of the participants for the over budget battle royal. Moose, Rocky Romero, Colt Cabana, Billy Gunn, Jimmy Jacobs. That's all kinds of fun stuff. Oh, that dude, Marco Stunt. I didn't even see that he was in there. Is it like a freaking brand newcomer, dude? And you're gonna have a 4-way women's match, and this is interesting because again, you said it was getting cross promoted via ROH, via New Japan, and apparently New Japan is going to have this available not live, but after it airs, is going to have it available on their New Japan streaming site. Holy hell!
Yeah.
Which makes this this women's 4-way only the second all women's match available on New Japan World.
Nice.
Oh, hey, man, groundbreaking stuff.
Absolutely.
And this is also after it's going to be able to stream. You'll be able to stream it on Fight TV.
That's right.
And also the Ring of Honor, their weird pay-per-view thingy, Honor Club.
Yeah.
You pay to get 50% off kind of deal. Hey, I get it.
Yeah.
It's something different, and we're trying to remain solvent. Good. Try something. Hell, it might work. But that's all going to be available on all of those streaming things, so it's going to be as available as possible without having the one major network behind it.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy stuff.
I'm looking forward to seeing it, so we can give it the full.
I'm glad it's
treatment
going to
next
exist.
week.
Oh, and NWA involved too. Cody Rhodes for traveling for the NWA title.
Yep.
I don't know.
10 pounds of gold.
A title his father may have made a little bit famous.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be what started as a hey, this amazing group of talent is gonna get together and do some stuff. Won't you come and play with us? And now it's like, no, we're actually building a really, really strong, really exciting, really fun card with some matches you can't see anywhere else, and that are going to have ramifications in the home companies for a year to come. I'm amazed by the commitment of the companies to say, hey, let's play.
Now this will, I mean, clearly, just judging by the sellout and the excitement from the fans, I mean, is All In, the success of it, proof that wrestling is in a new golden age?
Could be. I mean, I think so. It's just, I don't know that it's necessarily in a new age or a new golden age of just marketing in general, but there's more opportunity than there's ever been. But at the same time, I don't know how well like independent federations are, you know?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they're still the very beginning. I don't want to say bottom rung because, damn it, there's some amazing people all over the country, all over the world at that. And I'm hesitant to even say lowest level because just indie stuff around here, we've seen some amazing characters, amazing action, amazing work Do they ever go anywhere beyond there? Maybe, maybe not.
Right.
But it's still goddamn amazing.
But now, to that point, now there's more chances for them because before, again, it was always, oh, this guy's getting a tryout with WWE. And it's like, oh, cool.
That was
awesome.
the pinnacle.
Yeah.
You could not get higher than that.
Yeah. But, now there's just so many places to go. As a matter of fact, like, I don't know if there's still dudes on Impact.
And with so many places to go, there's also more places that are being provided kind of by the WWE that is opening up. You can come in. You don't have to be contracted. You can be not necessarily transient, but you can, almost like an artist in residence, if only for a moment. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully it's still working. Let's see. That'll decide how okay I am.
Oh, for the love of God, please work.
Nope.
Okay. Just
Carry on. I'll figure it out.
Just the sounders. It'll be okay. It's coming. It's coming.
Hey, phrasing?
Yeah. Okay. But I mean, that being said, is it potentially a new market for indies? Do indies? We've talked about it, has Impact lost its stink by putting out good product and putting out good stuff. By the same token, are the indies kind of losing that stigma? Is it still bingo halls and VFW posts and hey, this is garbage. We're gonna see some weekend warriors. Not necessarily, dude. I mean, even the local federations around here have older, bigger names coming through, right? Because they can afford to, because attendance is up, because ticket prices are up, ticket sales are up. I know I've been to more lately than I've acknowledged. I'm sorry. I've had to go see some things.
I want to desperately get back into going, but the problem is if I go,
there's still some stigma.
yeah,
I understand,
but
That's understandable.
personal,
Yeah,
and then on top of that,
it just stabs you
even
with that.
further, then I get the itch.
I know you do.
I mean, okay, like it's a very different itch as far. I mean, I'm a 37-year-old man, way out of shape. Like I'm not a wrestler, by any stretch of the imagination, but I did commentary, and it was a lot of fun, and I would love very much to do it again. And I don't know that I can commit myself to that as much as I want to. I don't know if I could commit to it again. And that will undoubtedly be a thing if I go, without a shadow of a doubt.
Can't resist, can you?
It was great. It was so much fun to do. Like I got to be a character that was me.
You're a jerk?
No, I wasn't a jerk.
You weren't the jerk. That's right. Sorry.
It depends on which commentary team too. Because when I was doing commentary with Sean, we were both kind of good guy commentators, and I was just kind of comic relief with Sean, and then with Fredo.
No, that's not cool.
With Fredo, I was
I gotta catch
was
up with it, man.
more straightforward, and he was the a-hole that was antagonizing me.
It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah. And, again, getting to play a character, and it's just commentary, but it was awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to make this about me,
No.
but that's part of the reason why I haven't been going.
So yeah, man, All In is gonna be a thing. And Cody Rhodes did an AMA and Ask Me Anything on Reddit, and taking a lot of questions about the show because he's promoting the show. Hey, amazing. And that question came up about the whole the Chris Jericho thing of, hey, why didn't you go talk to Vince and get some advice and stuff? To which his response, very diplomatic, is like, yeah, I'm looking for the stress myself. I'm going to do it. And I had 10 years under Vince to learn as much as I could, and I had 30 years with Dusty Rhodes as his father.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to make it on my own. I've learned a lot, and now I wish to apply it and learn from my own mistakes. It's so diplomatic and awesome, as if to say. But the answer was really, I'm my own man.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, dude, that's friggin' beautiful.
It's I've brought this up a lot. It's I hate using the word proud, but like I'm really proud to be a fan of Cody Rhodes. Like I'd love to see him return to WWE, but just
He never, ever, ever has to.
he doesn't have to ever. Like if he doesn't want to, which he said on Jericho's pod to that point, is he doesn't know if he will. Not, be, and I don't think he's trying to be mysterious, but his reasoning is, if somebody tries to script me, I'm gonna be like, no.
No.
You see what I'm doing here? Like I don't need that.
And it's there seems to be in this era more trust that people.
Will you stop?
Okay. It works, huh?
Who are you to doubt El Dandy?
I would
There we
never. I would never doubt El Dandy. Good,
Sorry,
Good Lord.
I had to get it in there somewhere to make sure it was working.
Oh no!
But as we get into an era where people can be allowed to be themselves more, they're gonna hopefully get more creative control like that, as long as they stay within some sort of guidelines. But I mean, WWE again is built to have those rails when necessary. There are some people that need scripted, some people that can be directed, some people that need guidance, and then there's some that are like, nah, man, you got this. Go be you. Go have fun, Drew. It's gonna be great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good Lord.
So, I think pre All In, I think we've said all we can. But Kane Kenny brought up something interesting. I think segues into another conversation here
Yes,
that
sir.
we had brought up last week. And I'm curious to your thoughts on it. We barely talked about it. So he says, in the possible surprise Neville entrance or appearance. This is weird because, I don't know, 5 days ago, it came out that WWE and Neville came to terms on their release.
Uh-huh.
But
They seem to have kept it fairly hush-hush. They didn't make the big announcement or anything, did they?
no.
And
Usually, we've come to terms and there's a release.
we wish him the best in his future endeavors, which has become dirty words that they kind of don't want to say anymore.
Yeah,
Unless you're being a dick, in which case it's like, nah, they're gone.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't give a shit about their endeavors. Bye. Sorry, Cass. Bye.
So there's none of that. And then usually they it's a stupid thing, but they get moved to the, on the website, they move them to the alumni.
And they have moved. Neville just popped up today on the
Just
alumni
today.
page.
Yeah. And, I checked a couple days ago and he hadn't. And there was no announcement. And there still hasn't been an announcement. But we live in this weird world that it still could be anything because news popped up 2 days ago that Neville had showed up in Pittsburgh where the WWE doctors are, and he was there.
Is there any other reason to be in Pittsburgh?
I mean, yeah, but I think he was at the doctors.
You sure you just wasn't eating like really bad food? I hope Neville just gets just grossly fat. I want him to see I want to see the first 450-pound 450 splash. It would make me very happy. I mean, not for whoever he falls victim to. No, and everybody has been weirdly clamoring because even the elite have become known for stoking some weird fires and just like not so much stoking fires of their own, but if they see something on fire, they're very likely to pick up a stick and just poke at it and go, "Hey, look at that!" Poke, poke, poke. There's a picture with a couple of them with the Neville action figures. Like, oh hey, look who we found.
Yeah.
Like, oh, and Neville has been absolutely hush.
Oh, yeah, whenever it was last year, like after that, he just disappeared. Like after SummerSlam, maybe, just gone. And where is he?
I don't know. You haven't mentioned anything about like an injury or anything. He was
No.
just gone.
Just gone.
Now that could be WWE learning has a weird thing that I don't know if they've learned yet because they've kind of done this with the Dean's reappearance. Learning that a little time off can be an amazing thing. Now Dean did have an injury, but they kept him off on the shelf a little longer than he needed to be. But it's like, no, we're gonna save it for when the time's right, and it's a big deal.
And it was.
And it was
Yep.
because they took that time. They had faith in their roster was full enough that they didn't have to rush somebody back to fill a spot.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, people are going to step up and it's going to be good. And when you come back, it's going to be amazing. And it was.
And it was, and it has been. And, injuries sometimes are like that, and sometimes they write it that way. And I'm hoping, I'm still holding out hope until I see something or I see him somewhere else that
I know that wasn't off camera. I don't care.
I hope that it's. I want to see him in the WWE ring again. Now he held out long enough to where, like at the end of when he first stepped away, I didn't think that
It felt a story when he first walked away. to me.
that too, but it also felt like that there was nowhere for him to go. Like I didn't think anything of it.
Mm-hmm.
He's been gone long enough to where if he walked away now, or if he is walking away now, it's insane to think that as big as wrestling was last year, like as because all the All-In stuff and all the companies, like they were doing all this stuff then too. Now it's even bigger. Like now he can go anywhere, and it will be a big deal, and he will get paid, and he could go anywhere.
He could easily go to New Japan. He could easily go to a CMLL or AAA. He could easily go to Impact. He could easily come back to WWE. He could go. He could go to New Japan. It could be amazing. He could very well be in the over-budget Battle Royal.
Yeah.
And then win and challenge for the ROH World Heavyweight Championship.
Can you imagine his first thing away from WWE? He goes into that, wins that, and then defeats Jay Lethal in the same night. Suddenly he's ROH World Champion.
Now, I'm not going to say that very well could happen, but hey,
it could happen.
you have to think, we're living in an era where it's like anybody can show up kind of anywhere at any time.
Yeah.
I'm always scared that Pete Dunne's going to like bust through that door at any moment.
Dunne. We'll talk more about him later. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm really excited about something that developed on NXT last week.
Yeah, letting him play a little bit.
Yeah.
NXT player. Yeah, he held that UK championship. Sure, there's going to be a UK show. No, we're going to use you a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And you good. Here we go.
So he could. I'm still holding out hope he shows up, back up on WWE television, but it does not look good. We'll say that it doesn't look good. But to your point,
But it's still a possibility.
it's still a possibility, and it would be a massive reaction when he came back to that point. Dean Ambrose, he was injured, he walked away, and he came back to a big response.
Right.
On Raw this week, a big storyline point, and I'm hoping. I mean, you don't do this on television if it's not storyline. Kevin Owens quit. I mean, when you look at his story of 2018, absolutely, this makes sense.
Right.
Shoot, towards the end of 2017, even like starting with the run-in with Shane, pretty much ever since then, this all still makes sense. Kevin Owens' story in WWE is one big one.
Yeah.
A few characters get to do that.
He's masterful at incorporating whatever happens into his history. Like I think we were talking about it last week. It could be the beginning of him going a little bit crazy, going a little bit evil, going a little bit weird, and stepping beyond what he's capable of now, and redeveloping as a character into that damn psychopath, that awful evil man who killed Sami Zayn at NXT. Just showed up and destroyed a man after getting his nose broke for no reason.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
CJ Parker.
Who? Now, if you said Juice Robinson, I've heard of him.
Uh-huh.
CJ Parker's fine, too.
I loved CJ Parker.
It was great.
But hopefully that they're just writing in some time off for him. Because, again, to that point, injuries. Sami Zayn's going to come back, and it's going to be a big deal.
Yeah, and when he comes back, I never would have believed him as a heel, as a bad dude, and then he was amazing.
Yeah.
Proving that he can literally do anything. So when he comes back, he can fit in anywhere and
Wherever
be
they need him.
great.
Yep, wherever they need him. And Kevin Owens actually even brought Sammy up because they were in Toronto. And he goes, yeah, you get to have your best friend there, Seth, but my best friend is hurt. My best friend, Sami Zayn, is hurt. And it's like, that's wonderful. Because usually they just completely ignore people who are off television. But to bring them up and, just kind of refresh. Remember this guy?
Don't forget.
He'll be back soon. Like with Ambrose, it's not as hard because all you have to do is you don't even have to mention his name. Just put Rollins and Reigns in the same area and then automatically, Ambrose.
Right.
It was nice to see. I wish they'd start dropping hints about Jordan. Because I'm curious to what's going to happen when he comes
Well,
back.
people
Because
got-
that's going to be soon, right?
People got scared that he was, walking around in suits. People don't like it when people go walking around in suits.
Hmm.
You get a little scared, like, oh, you booking something? You shadowing some agents? Is that what you're doing?
Hmm.
What's going on? But we've got that confirmation. It's like, no, he's healing up from injury and he wants to learn while he's recouping.
Beautiful.
Which
That's
is
smart.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Learn the entire business. Learn everything
That's
you
what
can
Triple
from
H
everyone
did.
you can.
That's what Triple H did. He learned everything he could from everyone he could.
And then he climbed into that weird casket, and it was weird, and we don't mention it.
But you just did.
No, I didn't.
You just did.
That's a conversation we'll have to have one.
Dummy.
Yeah. That's a conversation we'll have to have one day. Is like, if somebody was a new fan today, what could you tell them from the past that would completely turn them off? Put that on the back burner somewhere, because
Yeah.
that could be interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, dear God.
Okay, King
Like it.
Kenny says or Neville could be going to NXT UK. Interesting. Shoot, I want Neville and Pete Dunne.
Good
I want it right now.
Of course you do. It's crazy, like, to think that. Is this a time of year? Because I feel like WWE has broken what was their old mold, which was after SummerSlam. Is that when you usually get returns and some call-ups potentially? I know it's more like usually after Mania.
Yeah.
You get the call-ups and stuff. But I keep waiting, and I don't feel like we're going to get it anytime soon.
I think it's
of
Survivor
like
Series, actually.
like a rash of cuts.
Oh yeah, we haven't had that in like probably about 2 years. Like the big,
Mm-hmm.
we're getting rid of 5, 6, 10.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, this division. Bye.
Right. I mean, I feel like the last one was what whenever Summer Rae got released.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a handful of people that it bummed me out, but like at the same time, like none of them were on TV or being used at all.
Yeah, and pretty much everybody that's left out has gone on to be okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Tennille Dashwood is doing fine.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
She's in a
I
better
miss her.
position, and
She absolutely is.
if and when she comes back, she's gonna be more well-rounded and a better fit for what's happening here now.
she's the first woman who got released that is stepped into like
She was a wrestler, not so much a diva.
right. Well,
She fit that mold instead.
you have wrestling has gotten to a point, specifically with women's wrestling, where she can go make money now.
Mm-hmm.
As a women's wrestler, she can go make money. Like anyone, like Abby Lath or Kimberly, as we know her,
Uh huh.
she can go make money now.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh God, I didn't. Even
it wasn't like that.
I didn't even pull up that. I think King of Trios might be this weekend.
Oh wow, already.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk about that later. That's
Okay.
that's behind the scenes, like deep dive dumb stuff for us.
It's just I guess to the point. Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Mm-hmm.
Owens had an incredible match with Rollins
Yeah. Oh dear God, yes.
and telling a story. You know, again, basically a career in WWE wide story of, you know, these big moments. And then he comes out and he's like, you know, I lost here. I'm done. Actually, he didn't even do all that. He just sat in a chair.
Mm-hmm.
When they came back from commercial, he looked like he was going to talk, and he just goes, I quit, and walks off.
It's good. It was a good quit.
Yeah.
Nothing is better than that Batista quit. I quit while he's sitting in that tiny little wheelchair.
Uh-huh.
It's the best. That was still my favorite.
Yeah.
Waiting for that to be topped someday.
It, you know, clearly this has to be storyline, obviously, because it doesn't
Right.
happen on television if it's not.
Right.
But hopefully it means I saw somewhere, and I don't know if I buy this, that they're going to team Owens up with Heyman.
Interesting.
Definitely interesting. Speaking of interesting, Raw is doing some interesting things.
Oh?
I don't know that I necessarily love the program as a whole
Mhm.
always every week, and that's Raw. That's why it's 3 hours. Like, not everything is for me.
And it ends up being somewhat disjointed at times, but
Mhm.
there are big segments.
I'm-
SmackDown is a show. SmackDown is episodic television. Raw is spectacle.
It's funny because they call Raw the longest running weekly episodic, but it's not really episodic.
Cool. Kind of.
It's sort
Some
of
the
is.
stories are, but it's like, here's a bunch of B plots.
Mhm.
It's just, okay.
So a couple major things that I want to bring up to the point, because this could get really interesting to tie all this together.
Yeah.
So, we talked about last week who's going to team up with Braun to take on the Shield.
Mm-hmm.
How about Drew and Dolph?
That doesn't seem like a good fit. Nope. No,
Yeah,
sir.
but it did.
Yeah, it did.
And it
didn't
was awesome. I was like, I mean, it makes complete sense when you're seeing it happen. It's like, oh, okay, oh.
And it almost has like a weird feeling, like as if they had like a memorandum passed around backstage. Hey guys, don't forget, heels are people too, and they can have righteous motivation every once in a while, maybe via dastardly means, but they do have motivations. They are human. They have hearts, probably. I don't know.
I also still feel like tying Braun back in.
Mm-hmm.
Braun handed over his briefcase to Corbin.
I saw that.
You think Corbin's got some effery in him?
Oh, for goodness sake. Well, yes, but I don't know that they'll let him be that smart. Maybe. I don't know. If he could just make the match and take the briefcase, you didn't so much cash in. I just gave you the match. Oh, I have this now?
Yeah.
That would be fantastic. I think it's too smart,
Yeah.
but hey, who the hell am I, right?
I mean,
That being said, it's we talk about with a Braun's position as far as the whole Shield thing is, and it's the same conversation that's happening with Becky and Charlotte over on SmackDown. What is a heel? What makes them bad? Are their thoughts and motivations evil, or are they smart? Because Braun, he declared his match. He talks with Roman. He's going to tag with Roman against Ziggler and McIntyre. And then, oh wait, hold on, I may be a monster, but I have a memory. Like, hey, didn't you guys attack me last week? Also, haven't we had brutal, awful matches forever and ever? Didn't you try to kill me?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
Does that make me bad? Does that make me evil? I'm not so sure.
I just don't think that the line. I don't know. I mean, there are definitive heels in WWE on Raw and SmackDown, but I don't think it's clearly not the same anymore.
They're letting that gray be nice and big.
Because I just don't think it works on that level.
If this was only happening in this Shield versus Braun and whatever we're gonna call Ziggler and McIntyre, if it was only that, I'd say no. They're just trying really hard. They're gonna force Braun heel to put Roman over, and I hate to That's exactly what I hate to invoke the word dumps, but that's what you're gonna try to put Roman over and make Braun heel, natural babyface.
Get my bigs.
Get my backs. But at the same time, you have this Becky and Charlotte storyline where it's like, oh shit, people are cheering Becky, and okay, maybe we can let her be a badass and still be liked, and it's okay. If these two things weren't happening concurrently, I'd be more apt to say, oh Christ, they're doing anything to get Roman. Okay, cool.
But I mean, you have the existence of KO and The Miz. You could argue that The Miz is the best.
That sounds like a great 70s cop show.
Well, and Samoa Joe, all three of them, excellent bad guys, amazing bad guys, saying just awful things, still getting cheers.
Yeah, because they are
Because they're good at what they do.
Yeah,
And
it's the best in the world at what they do.
30-year-old men aren't going to boo. I mean, that's definitely part of it.
Yeah, they'll boo us.
They'll boo us. They'll boo Roman.
Because it's cool.
Because it's cool to boo Roman.
That being said, also Roman is now the best and the highest in merch sales in the company, overtaking Cena. The one you also boo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you think you're gonna see less of him now? They cut to a kid, a little child in the audience, an infant in a Roman Reigns vest with a little baby Universal title. Yay! And that mom holding that child bought all that stuff for that kid because that kid wanted that stuff.
Also,
You're going to get more Roman as a result. Enjoy.
Also, 2 weeks of Roman as Universal Champion, and I've never been more excited about the Universal Championship. Period. Ever.
It belongs and it exists on Raw, and it fills a huge, huge hole that had existed there for a while.
But even with KO as champ, I didn't
It felt a
care
little
that
hollow.
much. Yeah.
It's like, also ran. And that was at the time when the which title was over on Raw at that point? Was it US or
It was
Intercontinental?
US.
A US felt as big, if not bigger, because it was constantly there, and I enjoyed those storylines more.
Roman and Rusev.
Yeah.
And then Roman and Jericho.
Yeah, and they had the bit of the open challenge stuff, and it was fun and exciting. But we just talked about the whole absence letting the heart grow fonder.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what's happened with the Universal title. We had a few big names carry it to get some lineage to it. You let it sit for a while, unattainable, at the top of a mountain with a tower on it, at the top of that tower, on the highest rampart, unattainable by anybody.
I loved Rampart.
The game?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so our new goal is we need to get one of those like tabletop, like barcade like versions.
Okay.
I'll sit on one side, you sit on the other side. We'll just play forever.
Let's do it.
Like now?
Well,
Yeah,
not
sure,
now. We've
do
got
it.
a show to do.
Okay. But maybe
Maybe
that
for
abs-
Justin Fest.
Yes, Justin Fest. It's like Crabtoberfest at the Red Lobster, except it's Justin and you can't eat him.
Don't eat me. You know.
You know. But the whole idea of the absence letting the heart grow fonder, after getting that little bit of lineage on the Universal title, that might have been something that made it a little more magical. Now that you see it, it's special. This is an amazing, unattainable thing. Nobody was going to, excuse the pun, wrestle that away from Brock.
Yeah. I love how, Roman's taking the approach of it's an open challenge every
Mhm.
week. I'm here. You're going to come wrestle me.
And I love that they've addressed some of the rematches, letting Finn get a rematch, and just taking care of it, cleaning it up, putting the shine on a title just by doing it properly and having it there after having the lineage and the exclusivity. Because had Brock just come in and defend it every week and beat the hell out of everybody for a year, would you care?
No.
Would you get like kind of awful after a while?
Yeah.
But it was like, nah, he ain't gonna come play till it's money time.
Yeah.
That was wonderful. It's another way to build up the lineage of the title.
I mean,
There's nothing you can do that's wrong. It's just a matter of can you commit enough to it to follow it through to the point it pays dividends. With Brock, they did. It was gone for so long that you're like, oh shit, this is special.
yeah. And, it's going to be for a long time. And then whoever beats Roman, and that's wide open. Like, it could be Braun. Like, it could be Braun, and it's a short reign. And suddenly Braun Strowman is finally crowned, and here he is. And he could be like part of a weird faction. Because what if it's Braun, Drew, Dolph, and Owens, managed by Heyman?
Jesus Christ, dude.
3 really good stick guys. Braun's okay for what he is.
Braun has gotten very good, I think.
Again, for what he is.
He's like, he doesn't have to have like intelligible anything. You can just come out and yell.
Get
but at the
these
same
hands
time,
and-
yeah, I got catchphrases. I'm directing him in the right place. I'm advancing the story. He doesn't have to be masterful. Like, as far as I'm concerned, the most masterful right now is Samoa Joe.
Oh, God, he's amazing.
Like, he's amazing on his own. And then it's like, well, we'd like you to talk now. And he's like, all right.
He's still not getting
I'm
booed.
never getting it back.
He's
'cause
saying awful
he's
things.
maybe the worst individual that's ever lived.
but still not
I
getting
get it, that's
booed.
the character, but it makes me question the man at the same time. It's like, why are you doing this and feeling comfortable? How can you make, because look, first of all, hello, fake phone call, because hello, fake phone call. He made it sound, oh, do you have somebody on the phone there?
Yeah. Let's not make a big deal out of the fake phone call,
Oh, look, hey, it's a fake phone call. What a big deal. Oh, sorry. But he speaks to Wendy, who isn't there. And,
Wendy.
all I hear is The Shining. Wendy. And
AJ.
and it's just made it believable. Save a plate for me. Like the things that dastardly that he's doing is just okay. I'm sorry. I'm getting off the subject at hand. Is the hey, what the hell's Heyman gonna do? And hey, who are all these bad guys?
Bad dudes.
They're bad dudes.
Yeah. Well, again, and the line is so blurred that you have one definitive heel who gets a heel response in all of WWE. That's Ciampa.
Yes.
Nobody else.
Here's the thing: they're going to try cheering him, and
He's not going to let him.
He's not going to let them.
And that's the difference.
Mhm.
And
Owens can do that too. Owens is one of the
yeah.
and Joe can kind of do that, even though it's almost like he knows he's getting the relatively positive reactions. He turns it into "You're an awful person for cheering me."
My wife says when you say heel, I think of a dog for some reason. I try to
Big
say bad
dog.
guy.
Big dog.
Oh. I try to say bad guy.
Bad guy.
Bad dude.
Bad dude.
Well, I know
guy.
it sounds stupid, but I don't like using the wrestling terms.
I know.
I don't like using the baby face. I don't like
That's
using
why
heel.
I'm too lazy to put up the air quotes, but I'm always thinking them. It's fine. Sorry, sir.
It is what it is.
I triggered him. Oh no.
Triggered.
Buy the shirt.
Buy the shirt. Oh, you want that? I mean,
Do you please?
I mean, you ask.
Why do you
You
have
shall
that?
receive. Why wouldn't I? Because we used to have shirts,
Oh, for Christ's sake.
the RFR ones.
Mm-hmm.
I also had this.
I'm sorry. I didn't
So-
mean to bog it down. Goodness gracious.
You know, and just to kind of bring it back,
Yes, sir.
Ciampa, again, you know, there's plenty of heels in
Mhm.
action and words on WWE television. Again, we mentioned The Miz, Samoa Joe. You've got Becky's technically.
Mhm.
The Iconics. The Iconics are actually getting heel reaction.
Yeah, because they're awful and they're great.
It's great.
Yeah.
They got their biggest reaction this week.
I want to boo them and smile at the same time and
Yeah.
clap.
It's like
It's a weird. It's a, you're bad
awful.
people.
But yeah, and then there's Owens.
Mm-hmm. Owens can. I'm interested to see if they'll ever let Owens play kind of mid, kind of tween, because he can. He's he understands manipulation.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm in Canada. I'm being cheered. Well, hold on a minute. Let me bust out the French.
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
you're not happy now? Oops.
And yeah, but he still, in his moveset, has too much exciting stuff that you can't boo the cannonball. There's nothing booable about you can't boo the frog splash.
Okay, you can't boo. We're gonna watch nothing but Jean-Pierre Lafitte matches after the show's over tonight.
I mean, if he made the cannonball a thing like where he attacked somebody after the match and he starts doing the cannonball, I can boo that. But in the course of a match, what's booable about that? Owens doesn't really do any dastardly things in the ring. Doesn't really cheat. Now he used to every match, and I love this, even though some people would hate it. He used to always do the mind games right out front, where he would take a powder.
It's such a simple, easy thing. Sometimes the best thing you can do is nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what do you want? Stuff? No.
Nope, not yet.
Denial.
But that is one of the few things that he does do during a match, not give the crowd what they want.
Right.
They start cheering, "Oh, we want tables!" Pulls out a table. No,
And says
here's
no.
a chair.
It's great. Ah. Come on, effing dude.
Jenny, I almost wore my RFR shirt today, but I didn't want to trigger anyone. That would have been weird, considering the topic of my "Oh, hi, Justin" today.
Oh,
Hi.
that was the topic. Hi.
No.
Is that hello? You just want to tease? You teasing? What it is?
Patreon.com/Oh, hi, Justin
Oh, hi.
to find out. You know, it'd be great
What would that be, sir?
if I could somehow make $20 a day doing this, doing my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How do I do that? How do I make $20 a day, Nathan? We're gonna have this discussion on air. How do I do that?
Doing this?
Doing this show, doing Oh, hi, Justin, doing these ghouls.
Mm-hmm.
How do I make $20 a day?
How do you make $20 a day?
Mm-hmm.
How much blood do you have?
Judging by this watch right here, that isn't even really there
Mm-hmm.
enough.
Obviously not enough if you're seeing a watch, so that's out.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, everything I'm putting out is garbage and not worth $20 a day. So, valid point.
So what you're saying is we need to do a promo package where it's me as Sally Struthers for just $20 a day. You can make Justin, I don't know, happy. Let's try that.
More than happy.
Or you could go to patreon.com/Oh Hi Justin
Oh, hi.
and support him in his weird. I'm gonna go shenanigans. Shenanigans feels a little rough, Justin. Shenanigans an accurate depiction of your actions.
I guess.
Okay, so that's a no. Justin doesn't want to say no, but that was a don't depict me as a shenanigator. So
I think YMS is coming back. I think, even though DJ quit the show. Well, yeah.
Well, yeah.
So I think I figured out a way to do it.
He forgot music existed, and then it was like, oh wait, hold on.
And I think that there's a radio station coming.
God, for Christ's sake.
I want to do stuff, man.
I know you do.
There's more I want to do with this show.
Let Justin do stuff. And the best way to help Justin do stuff is be a patron.
I want to do more stuff with this show.
Okay.
I'm not trying to make you feel bad or nothing, but I want to do more stuff with this show.
I know you do. I know you do.
We've had so many great ideas, and we're just sitting on them. We should do them.
Well, we're getting this place set up a little bit.
Yeah,
here.
we have. Yeah.
This
You know
is
what?
this is progress. You know what? And this was an important step,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be a nicer place.
Yeah.
I'm going to steal the Cat P green screen. I'm going to launder it a lot.
Won't be stolen.
Yeah, well, no. I'm going to take it under nefarious means.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to push him down and say,
You're a
hey,
bad dude.
bad dude.
Heel Nate. Steal
Steven.
that too.
No. Let him have that. I will box your ears, though. We're just talking nonsense now.
Yeah, that's true.
Good Lord.
Do we want to take a quick break for the hour, or do you want to just roll into whatever's next?
Well, I mean, we would be going into what are the... we could probably stand to regroup a little bit because we need to talk about what's building in for Hell in a Cell, what's building in for Evolution, what's building in for the samurai showdown in the outback of kangaroo stuff.
Jesus.
There's a name for it. I don't remember what it was. Super. I'm pretty sure it was Super. But we've got all three of those shows building at the same time, so it's a matter of what the hell is happening when, and is one going to cancel out the other one, or can they exist in the same world? Because it looks like you got current storylines being built mostly for both shows, for Australia and for Hell in a Cell. So how do these function time-wise? And also there's the whole idea of, it looks like there's going to be another Saudi Arabia show come November.
Really?
And then, again, controversy with that. So, all manner of things.
I mean, I see you floundering to try to cover for me,
No.
but
Also, Finn Balor lost this week, so that was fun. Sorry, Allie. Good Christ, Justin. I like watching him struggle over there.
just trying to get this work done fast.
Can I also mention that Dana Brooke had a match on Raw this week?
That was great.
I'm so happy. And she did one of those, what are they called? The back handspring elbow thingies?
I think the word you're looking for is gimmicks.
Yeah, she did one of those. It makes me happy. I like seeing her in the ring. Because I think she's one of those ones that wants to put in the work and be like a wrestler. Like, I'm ready to be the top of your bottom card. You know, it's like fantastic. What an amazing role to want to do and want to fit in.
Ronald. Just jumping in now. We're about to take a quick break, but he said, All In, that's what I want to hear about. Ronald, the majority of the first hour was about All In. But he asks, Skrull versus Okada, who you got?
Well, I think
That's directed at you, not me.
I think Okada wins, but at the same time, I want Skrull to have an amazing showing.
I mean,
Someone's getting hit with a goddamn umbrella.
That's what he needs, right? He just needs some really good showings with top talent
to be taken seriously on a heavyweight level. And this is one of those spots where it's like, hey, we can play around a little bit. We get to cross paths with the junior heavyweights and the heavyweights and make it a big deal. Because it wasn't but a couple years back. It was like, hey, look at this Kenny Omega guy, the top of the junior heavyweight division. He's pretty good. No, he's the best.
He is.
And we have to run down that when we come back, too. A little bit of the old PWI 500. Yeah. At least got to run through like the top 10 and yell at each other and be mad.
I don't know why that would happen, but okay.
Well, it's what wrestling people do, right? Not hashtag WrestlePals.
Not us. We don't do that.
Good Lord.
So we're going to take a quick break. Probably just to pee and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You can look at this.
What's
while
the
we do
end
that.
stuff?
Stuff?
Oh, okay.
It's a question. where this goes, I'll see you there. The problem child, the tongue is blue. Live his life and it kicks off fire. Problem child, the tongue is blue. Live his life and it kicks off fire. Problem child, the tongue is blue. Live his life and it kicks off fire. Problem child, the tongue is blue. Live his life and it kicks off fire. They say that those are the breaks. I say that's why we riot. In the shoes of those lovely kicks, you'll get laid out, but I suggest you try it. Problem child, the tongue is blue. Live his life and it kicks off fire. Problem child, the tongue is blue. Live his life and it kicks off fire. Problem child, the tongue is blue. Live his life and it kicks off fire. Problem child, the tongue is blue. Live his life and it kicks off fire. Fire Hashtag WrestlePals.
Oh, hey, what's up? Hey.
Sorry you missed it, Ronald. He texted me like just as we were about to go back on. Sorry, we missed the all-in talk. Just to address, he did ask. Y'all don't see him going to 205.
What's that?
Skrull, is he gonna go to 205 Live?
No, they wouldn't be teasing it if he was.
Yeah.
No, it's Okada crapping on him, and Scrappy Skrull's gonna step up a little bit.
Yeah, he's gonna have a really good showing and almost pull it off and earn Okada's respect.
Mm-hmm. If you haven't watched the Being the Elite, their YouTube show has like damn near a half-hour episode this week for the Go Home show going into All In, and it starts with Skrull basically cutting a promo in a back alley, and then it pans into the store where they're like signing, and one of the Young Bucks is like, "Who the hell is Marty talking to out there?" It's made me so happy, so happy. At first I was like, "Yeah, he's getting fired up. This is good. Doing promos, making me believe it's solid. Won't just make me believe." And then it was immediately like, "He's crazy." Weird.
So you heard Ruby Riot's theme there.
Yeah,
You heard the These Ghouls track for the upcoming Live His Life EP.
it happens.
And by the way, I need to get a good. I need to write. I wrote the first verse for Say Yes to Pizza, No to Drugs and Yes to Pizza. By the way,
It's okay.
you heard the hook last week.
Mm-hmm.
You guys haven't. Nathan did.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. And
I'll give you infectious. Well, this is a good term, I guess, probably. You can market infectious.
Say no to drugs and yes to pizza, Nathan.
Okay.
Say no to drugs and yes to pizza.
I'm really supposed to say no to both of those.
Okay. But if you're going to say yes to one of them,
Uh-huh.
make sure it's pizza.
Wait, what? Okay.
So I wrote the verse for that. So hopefully a new version, or a version, I should say, at this point, will be coming out for that soon. I'm back writing again. Kids go back to school next week, which means I can write again and hopefully finish off the Live His Life EP.
Mm-hmm.
Wah! Why?
I didn't hear anything. What'd you hear?
Okay, good.
I totally heard it. It was loud as shit. It scared me.
That's
Had I not just peed, I would have pissed myself.
it's good to hear. Let's do that. And I'll just have to remember to undo it if I want to play a drop.
It's okay now.
But the Riot Squad has found themselves in a really good spot.
Yeah, man.
Uh,
They've asserted themselves as the dominant, for lack of a better term, 3-man team when it comes to women's division action.
Yeah. And it sure as hell looks like they are building a tag division. Slowly.
You think so?
Well, you've got the Boss and Hug connection,
Mm-hmm.
right? You've got the Riot Squad, and now you've got the Bellas coming back as a team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's weird. You got Brie Bella going in 2 different storylines on both shows.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, out of nowhere, she's involved in both of them. SmackDown's, yay, it's Brie Bella, and it's fantastic, right?
Right.
Then she comes out with Nikki Bella. Ah, boo. Just in the space of one night. From just awful boos like, Jesus Christ, these jerks again, to yay,
It's
Daniel Bryan's wife is amazing. She's so supportive and wonderful and great. Her sister brings her down a lot, though, apparently.
You've got the Riot Squad taking on the Bellas.
Yeah.
this coming week on Raw.
Isn't this feeding into a 6-man as well?
Yeah,
At some point?
at the Super Showdown.
At the Super
Showdown on Super Station.
the Samurai Kangaroo Monkey Ball
The
Phantasma
Super Showdown.
Phantasmatic.
Isn't it at this point? It's only the second match announced too.
I think so, but I look at those just like we had with the Saudi Arabia show. I look at the Australia show as kind of the same way you look at All In. It's like, hey, look at all this amazing talent that's going to be available. We're going to do some fun stuff with it.
Yeah. Well, and
And it looks like they're going to do a whole lot of, hey, what storylines do we have going in and coming out of Hell in the Cell that we can build or finish off here as necessary.
and that's why the big main event is Taker and Trips, because it doesn't take away from
Yeah.
anybody else's story.
It doesn't have to. It's a
lives on its own.
giant spectacle that exists in its own little world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure we're also going to get R-Truth versus Carmella, which is going to be great.
It's one of the most asinine things that's happening on SmackDown that I love.
What are you talking about? R-Truth existing? Because yes, and it's great.
I'm gonna get her,
He's
and it's really elevating Dillinger.
yeah, because he gets to be sane.
He's like, this is my life,
Mm-hmm.
and it was great.
You know what? And I like that as a weird straight man for R-Truth. It's almost because he had like Goldust and Truth, and it's like they're both weird, but they're trying to
Yeah.
out-weird each other. And R-Truth ends up having to play the normal-ish every once in a while guy.
Yeah,
Like if there was an incident, R-Truth would be the one that would have to talk to the police on behalf of the tag team.
yeah.
Now, well, not so much. Dillinger's going to be like, hey, look, I'm getting him some help. It's going to be okay. I take responsibility for I'm going to get him home safe, and we won't be a problem. I promise. Back to Niagara Falls. Here we go.
I'm just excited for my girls.
Who's Stan? I don't know. Your girls.
I'm excited for my girls
Yeah.
because they are de facto becoming my favorite
Mhm.
because they consistently deliver.
Yeah.
Ruby's amazing.
Ruby is fantastic, and she's helped create the platform for Sarah Logan and that other lady.
How dare you?
No, that's not her
Don't
name.
let's not pretend. Don't do this.
He loves
You know
the-
how? Yeah. What you were saying?
Oh, got out of the way for that one, huh? He loves Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
For Liv Morgan, and Liv Morgan, who's become an amazing performer.
Mm-hmm.
She's riding and learning with Ruby Riott and Sarah Logan, who are two amazing indie stars back
Tremendous,
in their
yeah.
time, who have transitioned into being Ruby, especially has transitioned to being a fantastic main roster WWE star.
Yep.
And when the opportunity comes, Sarah Logan is going to be right there too. She's amazing as well.
She's
And-
already just about picture perfect in the ring.
Mhm.
It's really just developing the persona.
Yeah.
What is it?
Well,
I was thinking about it this week. They did like an exclusive on the .com,
uh-huh.
and she was the last one to say something like as they were on the way out. She needs like that. She like
Bleed at
yeah. Well, no, yeah.
for lack of-
Seriously, yeah. If she's gonna be the somewhat Roman, she
Uh-huh.
needs like a tag.
the somewhat Roman. I like that.
The somewhat Roman of the group.
I like that a
Although
lot.
I guess technically Liv would be the Roman because she's the WWE product.
Okay.
The other two were indie.
Look, you just wanted to be the top merch seller. I understand.
No, I'm.
You want them to sell big foam
This is not.
blue,
I
blue
just
tongues.
walked it out. There is no mental gymnastics to go through. Rollins and Ambrose were on the indies.
What's her favorite pizza?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
Mm-mm.
No, you do.
No.
Like you can narrow it down to like a brand and a
Mm-mm.
store and which
Nope.
location. Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
No, I don't know this. I asked her. She didn't answer.
Yet? Is that how?
No. I'm not Bay.
Yeah, you're right.
Yet.
Christ almighty. But yeah,
will be.
so now it looks like the Riot Squad, which again, name and branding is important. Which is why another one of those reasons why I have a little bit of trepidation about McIntyre and Ziggler. I almost wish they had some sort of moniker that they could go with,
Yeah.
like I don't know, Evolution. No, that won't work.
That won't work.
How about Legacy? No. End up no.
Yeah. Heyman's boys.
Hey man.
Hey man.
Oh yeah. Hey. Good Christ. But yeah, Riot Squad has that cohesive branding, and look who they have them going up against. the Bellas, who are kind of the afterthought in this situation, which is weird,
Yeah.
but huge credibility as in, hey, here's the past. Also, hey, here's the future. Ronda Rousey.
And also tons of think of the eyes
Mm-hmm.
on this because of Ronda and the Bellas.
Yeah.
Lots and lots and lots of eyes.
Hey, who are these bad girls they're going up against?
Yeah.
We care.
Yep.
I want to see somebody else give a comeuppance to those bad guys.
Mhm.
Or I want to cheer them because we're 30-year-old males. 30-year-old males.
30-year-old males.
Doesn't work.
30-year-old males.
Stop it. Doesn't work. I've
30-year-old
established.
males.
Christ almighty. Could you?
30-year-old males.
30-year-old males?
30-year-old
Dirty-old males actually kind of works. That's bad.
American males.
Slam your grandma. Slam me. It's my favorite thing ever. Sorry.
Now, unfortunately,
I'm spastic today. Don't mind me.
unfortunately, none of those 6 women
Mm-hmm.
is probably in the PWI 500.
Oh.
Probably not.
Amazing. This week is Magical Week, the PWI 500.
So
You want to take a guess at number 493?
number
Go ahead.
493.
Who's
Got
number 493? Go.
it. Tiger Mask.
Which one?
Tiger Mask.
4 or 5? Which one?
4.
Trick question. 12. Tiger Mask
Shit.
12. Where's Dr. fucking Wagner?
Dr. Fucking Wagner.
390 something.
I
don't know.
accidentally said that way louder than I meant
It's
to.
okay. That and okay. It's the.
Number 494.
Mhm.
Jersey Joe.
Really? He made the list? Right under his own enema kit. It's weird. I don't know how an inanimate object beat him on the list and who those poor bastards below him are.
Number 383.
Mhm.
Armbar.
That makes sense. He's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's a stalwart.
Number 271.
Hmm?
Armbar.
Yeah. 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 I mean, that makes
I've seen
sense.
this list.
He's somebody that's really been around and really knows what he's doing. And it's been exciting to watch, too.
Number 132
Who could that be?
is the Crossface Crippler
Is it the...
or the Yes Lock.
Okay, that one's more acceptable.
Yeah.
Okay. Put that other one in parentheses
Yeah.
and then bury it in a lawn somewhere,
Oh.
a nondescript location, deep in the heart of
Texas.
Yeah, what, I don't know why. I'm sorry.
Number 95.
Mhm. Who's it?
Armbar.
That makes sense. You know, he's really been around. He's really somebody that's helped a lot of people grow. A lot of people have learned a lot from him. Zions, where'd they make it the list?
They should be number 1. They're number 1 in my heart.
Is it? I'm going to tell Liv.
She's the live of my life, Nathan.
That's all right. That means I get a big swig of Diet Sunkist because it was on sale and I'm cheap.
My only one true reason to live.
But seriously, though,
Yes. I am being serious.
I know you are. I was telling the people, but seriously, though. So we have the list here, and I got the top 10 pulled up.
All right.
You want to run through these and see how you
Do you
feel about
know?
them?
Do you know what PWI uses as their criteria?
Hard to tell, because how do you rank amazing wrestlers? Is it by wrestling talent alone? Is it by sales? Is it by character work? Is it by notoriety? Is it about gravity as far as the culture goes? Is it about growth? Is it about programs you've worked? Is it about building the company that you exist in? All of those, I think, have to be factors. And looking at the list, it's even this top 10 looks very varied.
All right. Which makes sense with wrestling the way it is right now. It should be varied.
Because I mean, this if you take any two individuals and pair them up against each other, well, that's how wrestling works, isn't it? How do you compare them on which one is better than the other one? You have to look at all the factors. If you look at just pure wrestling ability alone, I think it's a very different list than hey, who makes the most money
Yeah.
and who makes the most merch sales, who gets the loudest pop,
that's why you
who's
can't
the biggest draw.
You can't ignore Roman. You can't.
Yeah, that's right. You can't.
You can't. You can't. Is he number 1? I wouldn't think so, but he should be in that top 10.
Potentially. You want me to start at 10?
Yeah,
and
let's
work our
start
way
at
up?
10.
10. Now this gets into whether it's wrestling ability or character work. Number 10, The Miz.
I think that's I mean, because the year he won the WWE Championship, he was number 1.
Yeah.
So this makes sense to me because he's steadily improved in the ring.
Yeah.
So you've got improvement.
His character work is becoming its own legendary thing.
Yeah.
It's almost like you have like pars to work with. He's above and beyond that in his own way. He's gone his own direction so much that you can't measure it against anything else.
Right. And so like his character work is off the charts.
He's made Maurice really good.
Yeah.
It makes me happy.
Yeah.
Makes me care about what Maurice is doing.
You know, you can't really put merch sales up there because he's a bad guy and he doesn't. What little merch he does have isn't very good.
It's my favorite wrestler, Little Merch.
Yeah.
I'm your favorite referee, Little Merch.
All right.
I fucked it up. Sucks and I hate me. It's okay.
All right. Match quality. So this would be what, end of 2017 to now?
I guess.
His run on Raw was, I don't want to, I hate using the word lackluster, but his run on Raw was not great. Like, he had that brush up with Roman, which I loved.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, not much to speak of.
But I've always felt like anybody he ends up running up against, he makes them better.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that's something that absolutely has to be taken into consideration. If you can lose and look good, making the other good guy look better, that's an awesome thing to do. If you can lose, this is a thing about Kevin Owens. He can lose, and you're still interested in him, and you still care about him, and you still want to see what he does from there. Sometimes wins and losses don't matter as much as getting your character and your story across.
Yeah.
And The Miz gets his character and his story across. I'm sorry, the whole run with the what are now the B team, the Miztourage. I love the goddamn Miztourage.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And could they have organically grown on their own? Maybe.
Possibly.
But did they get a fun rub from the Miz?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then they got to utilize it.
Mm-hmm. And they're making a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that happen without the Miz? I don't know.
Who knows?
The power of the Miz.
Yeah. So I think 10 is a good spot for him.
Mm-hmm. It's an amazingly high spot. It's like I'm very surprised and excited. Not that I know who would be where, but there it is.
Well, and you have the company he works for is going to automatically place him at least in the top 25, probably.
Potentially. But looking at the rest of this list, I'm not sure if that's the entirety of the consideration there. You want to move on with
Yeah.
Okay, number 9, Tetsuya Naito.
Well, if he's this high, then Jericho has to be above him. Has to.
No.
Has to.
Hey, look, man, I don't make the list. I just bring the list. But
I love Naito.
I think Naito had a better year last year, but he's been able to move laterally around the card without losing any of that shine, and he still has that kind of magic aura about him.
But he gets brought to a worldwide audience because he wrestles Chris Jericho.
I think so. It's one of those weird things to argue. It's like, man, on one hand, you could say, I wish there was more room at the top so he could move in there.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like, no, the people that are amazing make that room, and they make their own room, irrespective of what's sitting at the top. They don't need somebody to move out of the way. They grow up on their own.
Right.
And Naito is getting there. You can't disagree with his match quality.
No.
But it's like he's still establishing, like, I'm a long-term player, I ain't going anywhere, and I'm going to take a nap, which, fantastic. Also, I think he bumps up quite a few spots just because of the hat.
I love Naito, but again, does anybody outside of New Japan fans or diehard wrestling fans like us know who he is without his match with Jericho?
I'm not so sure. I don't know.
Well,
Like, how would you introduce him to people?
See, I
would introduce him with what's his name, Takahashi. Those two just palling around like a-holes. That's how I would introduce him. But me, I like a character guy.
Yeah. And he's oozing it.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Absolutely.
got the charisma. Look.
I think he also translates very well. not like actually translates. Like though you don't understand what he's saying, you know what the hell he's
know what
saying.
he's saying.
You know where he stands. He's this weird, calmly cool individual who'll blow up on you in a second.
Just like his run with Intercontinental Championship, not the most recent, the one before, where he was
where he was
stone
destroying
colding
the
it.
belt?
Yeah, and just tossing it around.
That was
You don't need
amazing.
to speak Japanese to understand what he's doing.
What an a-hole! What
Yeah.
a bad dude!
Bad dude.
All right, we need the ace to come and save this belt.
I have no problem with him being there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, if Jericho's not above him, then that's a discrepancy at least.
Well, then we get into 8, and this is where it gets weirdly interesting on what you're grading on. 8 is Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
Has Cody had a better year than Naito?
Again, I guess that depends on your criteria.
Yeah,
'Cause
because is
worldwide
it
star.
via wins? Because he hasn't had the wins as much. He's had a fun little run in the ROH where he had the ring, which was fun
It was
and
amazing.
dumb.
Yeah, loved it.
But is this criteria based on what he's doing for wrestling, how he's existing in the world of wrestling? Because then you could justify him being high up on the list. That being said, his match qualities have also gotten amazing as well as he's learned. I won't say learned because for the love of God, he freaking knows. He's settled into what his pacing is going to be.
Yeah.
He can crank it up when he needs to. He can crank it down when he needs to. And as beloved as he is in the world of wrestling, he's like, I'm going to work heel.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it very well. And you're going to hate me. And I'm very hateable. Hi, my hair's blonde. What's up?
I don't have a problem with him being here. Again, some of this kind of depends on who's above him. I think 8 is actually a good spot for him because I think you have to factor in he's the driving force of All In.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think it does.
What would be spite in any other man is determination in him.
Yes.
And that's an amazingly powerful thing. There's so much more potential in drive and determination than there is in spite and just self glorification,
The man could have settled on his
self-aggrandization.
He could have rested on his laurels forever of just being Dusty Rhodes' kid easily.
But
He could have quit WWE and just been Dusty Rhodes' kid. all over the
his
world.
motto that he puts on his work and his weight belts: do the work.
Do the work.
And yeah,
Damned if he isn't.
and when he's doing the work, he's looking for more work to do.
Yeah, and it's like, if not next year, maybe the year after, he could be the number one wrestler. I mean, I'm still looking for like that one match to go. That's the Cody Rhodes. That's who he is. But so far I haven't seen that. But everything else he's done for wrestling is undeniable.
7, Justin. Roman Reigns.
Okay. I mean, he absolutely deserves to be in that top 10.
Somewhere I heard a 30-year-old male groan. And then he booed. And then he didn't buy anything. And then he went home and he found a pirated stream of WWE pay-per-views. And then wondered why he wasn't catered to.
Huh.
Weird.
Very weird.
Weird. Roman, his matches have gotten better and better and better.
Which is
and
insane because the second the Shield broke up, his matches were good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, his matches have always been good.
He transitioned to a single style very well. It's like I feel he transitioned very well. Rollins was ready to go, and I feel Dean had like a little bit of a hiccup, but then he found that like magic, like hell, I can be a brawler,
Yeah.
and make it work as a main event style. Here we go.
Yeah. But
yeah, Roman settled right into power, but then he got kind of sidelined with the well, you have to overcome the odds, sir.
yeah, and the
But he
matches were
did-
still great. And
Yeah, the matches were still great.
It always came down to the finish with Roman, and that's what I always booed. Like it's rare that I ever like a finish of a Roman Reigns match.
Take out a Superman punch, take out a spear, insert a triple power bomb.
Yeah,
Love the man.
it's insane.
And you can't say that he hasn't picked up that mantle of. He seems to be the locker room leader. He's a voice of reason, a voice of responsibility, a voice of doing the right thing, and stepping up and being there every night and being a workhorse. and going out there and kicking off a show and getting the crowd excited, whether it's booing, whether it's cheering, he's getting the reactions. And he's
People are
getting
fired up.
and he's getting the crowd live for everything that comes after that.
Mm-hmm. And he's decent on the mic. Like, now that he's settled into who Roman Reigns is,
Yeah. Slow it
he doesn't
down.
he doesn't say a lot.
Say less
Mhm.
and mean what you say.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Like, he means what he's saying.
It's wonderful.
What,
Yeah.
what's he calling meat truck?
Meat Shack.
Meat shack.
Meat Shack.
I shouldn't love that, but I do.
Look, okay.
Meat shack's in.
It's not bad. It sure as hell ain't no slap nuts, which is the worst thing that has ever been said ever. And a weird way,
Could you repeat it?
No. In a weird way,
All right, slap nuts.
In a weird way, I kind of appreciate it for how visceral and awful it makes me feel. Viscerally awful it makes me feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, oh, it's doing what it's supposed to do. I hate that guy. Well, there we go. There's a reason why. Meat Shack is playful and so weirdly derogatory in undescript and undefined ways that it's like, good job.
Meat shack's in.
Okay, that's enough of you.
Yeah, seven's a good number for him. Like,
Alright.
I definitely don't. I mean,
And largest merch seller in the world right now.
sales, drawing power. He's like, I wouldn't put him at the top.
I can't wait to boo him. I can't wait to cheer him. Either way.
Anywhere from 5 to 10 is a good spot for Roman.
Right.
So,
Which is weird. Number 6,
mm-hmm.
Braun Strowman.
Okay.
I have a hard time with this a little bit. Has he improved? Are his matches interesting? Sure. Does he give amazing spectacle moments?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess that has to be taken into consideration. Has he improved on the mic? Thousands of percentages. Yes.
He's clearly a draw.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause-
And he absolutely gets a reaction. He gets a babyface reaction.
Mhm.
But also at the same time, he can get a "we're scared of this man" reaction.
Yeah.
But
I mean, he's got the Get These Hand shirts. I mean, those are
Mhm.
moving pretty well, right?
Well, they have to be. I mean, he's up at the top of the card, and people care about him and like him and want to support him. That's how shirts get sold. It's weird.
6 though.
Six seems a little high.
Yeah, it does. Especially with Miz and Naito
Mm-hmm.
below. Yeah.
But let's see if 5 feels a little better.
Okay.
Seth Rollins. Can you deny that he's had amazing matches every single time he goes out there?
2018 has been amazing. He was the hottest babyface, like just on a tear.
Oh, I wish I could cite the person. I believe it was a Reddit post that I saw where somebody went up to Seth and said, "Oh man, you just had one of the top 5 matches of the year tonight," and his response was, "Oh well, I've got 4 more to go." That kind of attitude of I'm going to steal this show no matter what I do. Oh, you want me in the opening match for the IC title? All right, I'm going to set an amazing pace that you can't keep up with.
Mm-hmm.
And now they've done that a couple times. Him and Ziggler both have done that a couple times. That being said, this last time, the rest of the card did their best to keep pace.
Mm-hmm.
But damn if they didn't set a hot pace.
That's right.
Changing and defining what that hot open really is. Making it the hottest open you can possibly get.
This is weird because I definitely think he is ahead of both Roman and Braun.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it does, especially with Seth there. I don't know. Now it
What is your
Braun feels
criteria?
weird. Yeah.
Braun feels weird to me.
Yeah.
But are we gauging this on potential? Because some of those good guy reactions he was getting, man, I would put those on par with 80s Hogan,
Mm-hmm.
which is something you wouldn't think could ever happen ever again.
No.
Nobody's going to universally go, that guy's great. All right.
You know,
I
it's, Mm-hmm.
can't wait for him to throw a big boot and drop a leg drop.
he's part Stone Cold too.
Mm-hmm.
In the weird moments that he gets. That has to be potential because that crowning moment when it's finally like the moment,
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, he may win the championship at Hell in a Cell, but that's not going to be the moment. He's going to have this is Braun Strowman's moment,
Mm-hmm.
like at Mania or even the Raw after Mania, something like major that will define his career.
Mm-hmm.
And when that happens, it's going to be pandemonium.
They have the opportunity to make something huge.
Yes, absolutely.
So if you're going based on potential draw, potential future, and he's still a young dude, who's learning more and more by the day, and also getting his style and character down as he's developing his ability. Because remember that we had that weird wrestling match between him and Big Show that one
Yeah.
time? Like, what the hell are y'all?
This is amazing.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. So showing that he's understanding fundamentals, and he's not just like, I do my move set, you better work around it.
Yeah.
I got a feeling it's like, all right, I want to wrestle today.
That'd be fun.
Hey, I want to go play with Samoa Joe and do some of that wrestling. And you know what? It would be friggin' great.
Yeah.
Mm.
Huh,
So
okay,
5 being Seth Rollins.
Right.
His matches have improved.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things like, how much better can they get? I don't know, but he'll find a way.
Yeah. And he finally settled into the good guy thing.
Yeah, which is nice.
Yeah.
It feels better, and let him have a little bit of a badass twinge to him, too,
Mm-hmm.
where he can come out and be awful when he needs to be, but as it serves him, and still be true to his character.
Yep.
And he's settled into where he is. Now, here it gets weird.
So we're at 4 here.
Number 4, Brock Lesnar. I want to hate it. Do you want to hate it?
I want
We only
to.
had a few matches.
I want to. Massive draw.
Yeah. you can't-
Undeniable draw.
You want to see him do whatever he does with whoever he's going to do it with.
Mm-hmm. So okay, so let's see, 2017. If we're starting at last year's SummerSlam,
Uh-huh.
so he wrestled. That was a 5-way at SummerSlam with like Braun and Joe, Bray, and Roman.
What a friggin' cluster.
Yeah, I mean it was fun for what it was.
Uh-huh.
Then he had the match at Survivor Series with AJ, which was amazing.
Right?
Then the Rumble. Did he wrestle at the Rumble? I don't remember him wrestling at the Rumble.
That's the thing. I don't even remember.
And then Roman at Mania, Roman at Gurr, and then Roman just now at SummerSlam, right?
Do you think that's enough to give him the credit to be that high?
But like, it's such a spectacle.
It is. I think it's a remarkably controversial choice.
Yeah.
Because you're saying in 5-6 matches, he's done more than these other many other dudes have done with 200.
Yeah. I mean, his drawing power is undeniable,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll be interesting. I do feel like we've moved on past the point where we need Brock specifically as champion. And it'll serve everything better with him just as an attraction. But, man, none of those matches other than AJ had that Brock feeling.
And that being said, with Brock hopefully, and it's weird to say hopefully going away. It sounds like he's going to UFC.
Mm-hmm.
Looking forward to enjoying him when he comes back. It got to a point where it was almost like when he showed up, it was like, it's a big spectacle, but I don't like it.
Mm.
It's going to be weird and it's going to be awful. And it ends up being okay. It always ends up being okay. But at the same time, it never feels pleasant. The endings of the matches never felt... they felt properly booked and whatnot, and they got to where they needed to, how they needed to get to it. But all the endings always felt weirdly sudden.
Yeah.
And always left me with sometimes a surprised, shocked feeling, sometimes a hey, this feels real feeling, but oftentimes just a very like oh feeling, which is something too.
Mm-hmm.
It is a reaction. It isn't like I said I don't care, because I never said I don't care. But is that I feel weird reaction a good one and a marketable one, and one that is something that only he can elicit? When he throws down a beating, does it feel so weird and real and awful that you feel bad for whoever he's in there with?
Always depends on who he's in there with, though,
Yeah.
because
But then there's the level of is there inconsistency in that? Is that style being inconsistently applied depending on where he's at?
because the match at SummerSlam in 2014 with Cena, where he won the championship, amazing. I don't care what anybody says. I love that.
Was that the
16 Germans?
yeah?
John Cena just got knocked around.
Yeah.
I loved that. That was
He
spectacle.
got out wrestled, and
Yeah.
you know what? That was amazing and told a good story. And that was definitely good.
Now, and then the match with Samoa Joe, where it was like all of 8 minutes maybe,
Uh huh.
but It was an intense 8 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Yeah.
There was a triple threat, I think 2015, with Cena and Rollins. Outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. It just depends.
I felt like historically we've gotten this weird kind of crapshoot from him too, because you can't not acknowledge the no DQ with Dean that felt like kind of like half-assed.
Mm-hmm.
Never gonna say half-assed. I feel awful saying that,
Right.
but comparatively to what we know that
It should have
the
been
two
something
can do,
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, but it almost had that stink of, these two aren't playing well together, so we're just gonna get past it.
Yeah.
No, I'm not putting the blame on either one of them, but you're still involved. There's going to be some stank applied. Meanwhile, Dean has had enough other matches to go like, oh, I like this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Brock, on the other hand, I'm like, I feel weird.
Dean, like the promos leading up to that was amazing.
Yeah.
Got me really excited for that match.
Mm-hmm. I will never forget what Dean has done, especially like when SmackDown was after the split, when he first was carrying that SmackDown title.
Mm-hmm.
As much as they say, AJ is the face that runs the place, I don't think that that place is as important without Dean kind of building it.
Yep.
Dean laid the foundation before AJ built the house.
Yeah. I
Or
mean,
whatever.
The match with Ziggs at SummerSlam, not great, but the feud with Styles afterwards,
Mm-hmm.
tremendous. Ultimately he loses the title, but then he gets the rematches, and like just the chemistry between them two was undeniable.
Yeah. Let's move off of Brock.
Yeah.
Brock got a little stink there. Number 3, Okada.
Okay.
Now again, we're not big huge New Japan guys, but no matter who you are, you know that name.
Mm-hmm.
He's held the IWGP Heavyweight Championship for, I don't know, the vast majority of his life,
Yeah.
which is weird. And he's also so young and so good.
Yeah.
And the more you see of his character, just these little things with the Skrull here leading to All In, it's like, look at his personality on this dude. Weirdly dismissive and kind of full of himself, but also weird. And him, shoot, I should know this stuff. Was he part of that Triple Mania card? I think he made an appearance down there, and it's just like he's getting worldly and he's getting out there and he's showing that, hey everybody, I'm kind of the best. You should know who I am.
Him dropping the title was probably the best thing to happen for him.
Yeah, I feel like he gets free of it.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have to be the, oh God, here we go again. And it was never like that with him, but he never got to that point, which is awesome. And he gets to go do other things in New Japan, masterful in moving people around the card, still keeping them involved, still keeping them active, still keeping you interested without having to keep them in the same story in the same slot.
You said slot.
I did do that.
Hey-o.
So that gives us to number 2.
Okay.
And I don't know how you argue this anyway. AJ Styles. Number 2 in the PWI 500. If he was number 1, I wouldn't be able to argue against
Wouldn't
either.
bat an eye, yeah.
Come on, dude, AJ Styles.
I mean, that. What else can you say? Come on, it's AJ.
Every time he goes into a match and he goes to do that, anything, jumping from the top rope, the forearm, the fact that that's a finish for him,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks like something that can miss and get effed up really bad every single time, but he's masterful with it and pinpoint with it, and he can correct in midair and makes it look powerful and good because he throws his whole body into everything.
Mhm.
He makes it look like he's hitting with the entirety of his weight at the highest speed he can possibly achieve. And he does that with all of his moveset. At the same time, he can take a beating and look like he's severely in trouble and overcome the odds, and you believe it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And telling the world why AJ Styles is good. that's a hard thing. Huh?
Well, and he also wrestled Brock Lesnar.
Mm-hmm. And
it
had a
was-
decent showing.
It was amazing. I loved it.
Okay. That being said, easy to sing praises of AJ Styles, right?
Mhm.
Is there anything tweakable in there? Anything that you find that grates on you a little bit, or you don't quite like? It could just be personal preference. I'm not saying this is a like bad thing.
To be honest, no.
yeah.
Like
He's settled into who that character is.
every
It
time
feels
he's
more
on
him than it's
yeah.
ever been.
Every time he's on screen, I enjoy him.
Mhm.
That the potential at the WWE Championship, like that division is so hot,
Mhm.
like because I mean they're fixating obviously on Joe and Styles, rightfully so,
Right.
because that feud is hot. But you could easily see Miz jumping in there. You could easily see Daniel Bryan jumping in
Mhm.
there.
You can't forget you've got Orton and Jeff Hardy doing their thing. Either one of them could transition easily in there.
Yeah.
And same thing, any of those individuals can go down with the U.S. title because Nakamura isn't undercard, he isn't
No.
mid card. It's a different title, is all.
Yep. So it's no man. Like,
And also SmackDown's a place where you can see people move around a little bit.
and it's not end of the world.
No,
It's not. Oh, I'm going down to your U.S. title.
Mm.
It's I want that gold.
no, it's you're on TV.
Yeah.
Have fun,
Yeah.
do good, make people love you.
No, man, I can't. I got no gripes with Styles.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say he's perfection or anything, but like, there's nothing glaring that comes out that goes, please stop doing that.
Yeah, and when he first started talking in WWE, there was a little like just adjustment, and I wouldn't say bad. It was just adjustment to what it's going to be, and he settled into who he is going to be for that. At the same time, he's one of those guys that even if he was dastardly, you're going to cheer for him.
Well, it's that same thing Owens has.
Mm-hmm.
You can't boo what Styles does in the ring.
Right?
You can't.
Yeah, it's
Like
too
it's exciting.
phenomenal.
It's good. It's phenomenal.
Yeah,
Is what
yeah,
it
yeah.
is.
So I mean, I guess that gets us to the top of the list.
And there can only be one name,
Mm-hmm.
considering the 9 we've mentioned.
Armbar,
Mm-hmm.
he great.
It's about time.
All right, good
It's
night.
about time he got number 1.
Kenny Omega.
Of course. Would he be my personal selection? No.
He's I feel he's like weirdly redefining the New Japan style and making it more palatable for a Western audience,
Absolutely.
but still being true to it. He feels like a savant of wrestling.
It's the same.
It's like he and Cody are close
That's
to
what
the
I was gonna say.
same levels of involvement and wanting to do more, but Omega feels like he's more in-ring and character, and Cody is more like, I want to be the best business person, and how do I do that? And oddly, a lot of that path is the same, but then it diverges like right at the very tip top of performance, and there's a reason why they're both up in the top 10, but Omega is straight style, and his character is impeccable as well.
like I said,
His storytelling is beyond the pale.
I wouldn't pick Omega as my number 1, but that's only because I don't follow him closely enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
The fact that you can follow him is pretty impressive. The fact that you keep getting the video clips of like, hey, you got to watch this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, did you see Omega versus whatever?
Yeah.
Like the entire G1, it's Omega versus this. One of the big matches and moments out of this, Omega versus Ishii, and it's like, wouldn't think that would happen. And guess what? It was amazing. You know why? Omega made it amazing. He told the proper story for those characters involved, and was able to physically manifest that story as well. His character and his style all work together, and it works in that weird long-form Japanese style that's really good, which can have those moments of transition where it's going to be slow, it's going to be fast, it's going to be slow, it's going to be fast, it's going to be long chains of false finishes, and then it becomes amazing and builds to head ends, and all of a sudden, ladies in the audience, Kenny, it's the best. That's my favorite thing. I'm so happy for. Sorry.
No. I can't. There is no argument to be made. If somebody says Omega to me, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Again, I mean, even though he wouldn't be my choice, there's no denying that we've been saying, oh, yeah, that person's top 10. He's top 5.
Mm-hmm. He the credit I have to give him is that he's taken me up out of America and made me pay attention to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And his existence has introduced me to a lot of amazing talent.
Mm-hmm.
If it weren't for Omega, I wouldn't be as into Okada. I wouldn't
True.
be as into Naito. I wouldn't be into this weird Jericho.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know how great Jay White can be. And when that and it's one of those things. If you take Omega out, you take out the entire just New Japan exposure to me.
Yep. Yep.
I'd be interested, and I'd know some of the names, and I'd see some of the spots, and be like, "Oh, that's cool." But would I pay attention to the story? Would I pay attention to the progression? I'm not sure. The man forced my eyes up out and spun me halfway around the world and said, "Hey, pay attention to me."
Yeah.
And I gotta, and I'm rewarded for it every time I do.
You can't.
And conquering multimedia as well.
That is a great point. Every time I do go out of my way to watch something Omega has done, I'm rewarded.
Yeah.
That is a great point. Because again,
There's maximizing screen time, and then there's maximizing the eyes when you do get them.
I can't follow everything that he does.
Yeah.
I don't have the time. I don't have New Japan World. I catch what I can catch, and every time I see it, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. So, again, I would never argue with anybody who came at me and said Omega is the best in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I may not agree, but like I can't. You're not wrong.
And you have to look at that too. Is like, does that get a little bit of extra just because it's not WWE? Potentially. Could you say that AJ Styles is potentially better? Potentially. But it all gets to a matter of opinion, and you get kind of weirdly in the weeds, and you're comparing apples to dragon suplexes. It's a thing, right?
Not sure.
It is.
Holy-
That's snap.
holy
Yeah, we're
jinkies.
up against stuff.
How did we get there?
PWI 500, dude. Like, if you want to go all the way down through all 500, let's go. Come on. What are you doing?
I don't think you want to do
I
that.
got work in 3 hours.
Yeah,
Here we go.
I don't think you want to do that.
That
at
means
all.
I've got 3 hours. What's up?
Did we mention this?
What's up?
I don't think we did. Bobby Lashley had a match this week, and his match was again. So, firstly, Ascension's music hits, and I'm like, Ascension!
Oh, welcome to the wasteland.
Oh, yes, the Ascension, sweet!
Yeah.
And then Bobby Lashley's music hits. I was like, oh, Ascension.
I still
Because
can't.
I knew what was going to happen.
Oh, that makes me sad. That being said, it was worth it just for that weird backstage swing. And getting to love busting Bobby Lashley, talking
Yeah.
with Corbin. Bobby Lashley more in command of the segment and just like, hey, my man, slapping him like hard enough to make Corbin go, hey, don't hit me.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Stop it. Stop it. Good Christ.
Oh, yeah. Remember that thing I said? Make sure I do this
Yeah, you
first?
should have done that thing.
Oops. So we'll do this. Ah. They're telling us we have to go. Ah.
Yeah. And?
Just briefly. So on NXT television last week, we haven't watched this week's yet.
Right.
Dude,
live.
yeah, dude. Pete Dunne and Ricochet cross paths backstage. So initially, it was to walk off the Undisputed Era. They were coming at Ricochet, and they're like, we great, we great,
Do I have to do the zip? I don't want to do the
we
zip.
great. Well, fine, I'll do
Nope.
the zip.
I don't want to do that thing either. Is that a ukulele, or is Kyle O'Reilly just really huge, and this is how big guitars are for him? Haven't we had that discussion before? He's playing tiny guitars?
He's
Like when
Tiny
he
Tim?
first did it 100
Tiny
years
Kyle?
ago. No, he was giant, and he has a tiny guitar. It's actual size. He's really 8'5".
Who knew?
Mrs. O'Reilly,
Okay, here's to you, Mrs. O'Reilly.
big fan.
So, they Undisputed Era backs off. Ricochet goes, "Hey, thanks, man." And Dunn's like,
Oi, mate.
we're not mates. You just happen to be carrying some gold that I want."
Uh huh.
I love that.
People wanting titles being coveted. Amazing, right? Simple,
Especially a
simple
new
storytelling.
one like the North American Championship from a person who is the longest title holder in the company right now, the WWE UK champion. It also gives me hope that people on the NXT UK brand are going to be able to transfer over into NXT
Oh, yeah.
and then ultimately into WWE because
having that little bit of fluidity. Because, I mean, how do you do UK TV and not have Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan go pop up over there?
God, yeah.
Hey, we're here to hurt some people.
No, you know what's funny is like
okay, but we're going to go back now.
they're doing or they've already recorded the NXT Women's Championship
Yeah.
tournament. I didn't see any Brits in there. There's like a couple
All right.
Aussies,
Hey, look.
a couple Kiwis.
From like an American perspective, close enough. not even close. But close enough, right?
I guess maybe the British women just not a strong scene. Maybe
Look, I hope
we
they
ain't
just
seen old girl.
look. I
Isn't
just
she Scottish?
I just hope
Piper Niven.
she could be back.
Just saying.
That being said, I hope they just totally just ignore UK and just call it the Australian women's title and just be like, the hell with it. And then it's just nothing but fights of Australians versus New Zealanders.
Well, from what I've understood, I don't remember where I saw this because somebody was saying it was a bad thing. Oh, it was Tommy Twitch. On old ENC that WWE is looking to do. They got NXT UK. They're looking to do NXT Australia, NXT Germany, so on and so forth.
Building territories worldwide.
And Tommy's like, oh, don't think it's a good thing. I don't know. To me, I think it's a great thing because WWE brings eyes. Well, if that gets people fired up for wrestling in Australia even more than they already are, then they're going to be going to House of Hardcore because WWE isn't always going to be there.
Right.
So, maybe I'm
or
wrong.
you'll get people to transition in and out. And it's that old school model of being very protective versus the newer idea of being more open.
Yeah.
And the size of these potential territories hasn't been divulged yet.
Right.
UK could be all of Europe plus Australia and New Zealand, and that could be the extent of it. Or they could do that plus Japan with the Aussies and New Zealanders being able to float in between the two, depending. Who knows? I'm not sure WWE even knows, but they're open to the idea.
Yep.
Which is nice.
So, I guess that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. One more thing. We gotta leave. I gotta go to bed. So tired. I always enjoy this show, sir. Yeah, I'm sorry it took me an hour and 10 to get up and going, but here we go. And hey, everybody, we're hashtag WrestlePals. If you'd like to get in touch with us, Twitter seems to be about the easiest way. Go there and go do that tweet thing to @WrestlePalsVA.
That's right.
Or check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/WrestlePalsVA. That's where we are there. Go there. Stuff. Okay? Bye. No? More? Or you could go ahead and put hashtag WrestlePals on literally any form of social media or anti-social media. Whichever one you decide do you want to participate in. Though anti-social, do you really doesn't matter. Hashtag WrestlePals, he'll find it and respond to it positively because he's a good dude. Who's he? He's hashtag WrestlePal Justin. You can find him on Twitter. My voice is cracking. You can find him on Twitter.
Simpson?
Yeah. It's going to make work weird tomorrow. You're going to find him at The Hulkster on Twitter. That's legit. That's real. Not verified, though. But
Not verified.
Liv Morgan does follow him. So that's worth something, I guess. She's the one that really matters, right?
Just live in my heart.
You're just talking nonsense now. At the Hulkster on Twitter. Or if you want to support...
liver.
liver. If you want to support the random weirdness, the shenanigans, the
Isolatry?
good word stuff day Justin Wilson, patreon.com/oh hi Justin. That's the home of hashtag WrestlePals. That's the home of Deprogram, the finest music show you will find anywhere. You can say that now and be legit. We're not even lying anymore. It's great, right?
Sure.
The Oh Hi Justin Pod daily dose into this mess up here. These, is it hashtag or is it just these ghouls?
Just these goals.
Not just these ghouls. These ghouls. You'll be rewarded for that. Go there going, I wonder what these ghouls is. You'll be rewarded. Trust me.
The kicks are fire.
So I've heard. And if you want to get in touch with me, much harder. That's possible, probably, depending on what sort of a weird mental breakdown I'm having.
Right.
At the Nate Project on Twitter.
Go ahead and send that tweet.
I only really go on there when I'm having a mental breakdown and I just need to vent weird stuff. So at the Nate Project on Twitter. I probably won't respond, but I'll see it and it will weird me out. And you can take solace in that I feel uncomfortable for at least a moment. Yeah, it happens. Hold on, what else? Is that it? Good. I mean, yeah, Patreon. Oh, yeah. And if you want to see the hashtag WrestlePals back catalog, youtube.com.
Back catalog.
Look, I'm working on getting back down. I've stagnated a little bit. Stagnate. YouTube.com. Search for hashtag, spell it out, hashtag WrestlePals. You'll find us up on there. Prefer audio only, iTunes is the greatest repository in all of human history for the audio format thing.
Hashtag commitment.
Search for hashtag WrestlePals on there, or Stitcher was good to us, right? Spotify's the one that hates us.
Right.
All right, Spotify, you ain't watching. That's fine.
Get it together.
Yeah, man. Get it together.
See what's happening.
Oh
Phone
my
is ringing.
God.
Oh my God.
That was good. Let's go out on that. Goddamn hashtag WrestlePals.
I lost my keys and my little dog is bone. So I pick him up and I'm gonna carry home. But he a mean dog, bit me in the spare rib. And I'm take him home, put him in the baby crib. Yeah, I don't know the words, AJ Styles. You know what you are? You're phenomenal. Phenomenal.